Hi all, it's Kylie from Kylie's Cardcraft. Thanks for joining me again today. A little bit different again today. Dangles for our journals. These are so fun to make and so easy. Most of mine are done with broken jewellery, so I'll go to the op shops, thrift shops, etc. and you'll quite often find little jars or bags of broken jewellery. They come all sorts of different bits and pieces. They're great fun to go through. And so most of my dangles are done with that because you get a vast array of bits and bobs to go in dangles. Now, dangles, when you go to pop them on your journal. So these are a couple I've done this week. This was one that was done prior, so it's a little bit different. They're just on chain. And again, most of my chain comes from things of broken jewellery. So here's your chain, and then everything is just popped on with jump rings, or your little open-ended rings. I just call them jump rings. I think that's what the name is. Sometimes I'll have charms in them. Most of them are just bits and bobs of jewellery and beads. Okay, so there's that one. I always end them in a jump ring to attach them to my journal with these sorts of ones. This one, again, piece of chain. I'll find the end. That one. Flick that over. So a piece of chain, and then they're just attached to your bits of chain as you go through. So that one's a fairly chunky one, but not as many charms and dangles going down. But I still like the look of it. Again, I've got a jump ring at the end. Now this one's slightly different, so it's been done with a clasp from the end of a necklace, and then I've attached each length, which have just been done on tiger wire or something like that, with a jump ring on the end to that. That was a full piece of broken necklace. So I've taken off a lot of the other little bits and pieces and just left the full length there. Saved me all that work. That was a paper bead that I've made. We'll do another one of those one other day, and I'll show you how to do those. So that's only got those on there and a lock. And then, again, it'll attach, or you can pop it on the end of a bulldog clip. So 3 different styles there in your beaded ways. So when they go into a journal, what I like to do, so here's my current journal. Finally done my cover. Still working on all of my signatures. I sew in my signatures. Once I've decorated my pages, I will sew in my signatures, and then I'll add all my ephemera and bits and bobs. I like to do hidden spines. So this is the inside cover, all ready to go. Stick that on there. Here's my piece of cardstock ready to go. So it's just a little piece of chipboard. Same length as that. Okay. But thin enough that this will close either side. My signatures will be, I'll cover that with a piece of, this is book page. So this will be covered with the same sort of book page as well, so that it matches. And I'll sew my signatures onto that. Once my signatures are sewn on, the whole thing will be glued in there. Prior to doing that though, what I want to do, I'll turn this over, is attach a dangle on here. Well, we're going to attach the construction way, that's not the right word, to be able to attach the dangle. You don't want to attach your dangle until you've actually got your signature sewn in, okay? Because it just makes it too bulky. What I like to use are the Tim Holtz ring fasteners. I'm assuming they're still doing these. I love these, and if I ever run out of them, I don't know what I'll do. They actually came out in, I was looking at this last night, 2013. Had numerous packets. I'm down to about these, so I'm going to have to check if they're still available. So what they are split pins in a header with a jump ring on them. They will go through this part of the book, your end piece, your spine, and then that will be covered by my hidden spine that goes in. So to pop him on, I'll just grab my, oh, I knew there was something I'd forgotten. So grab your awl or your paper piercer, whatever it is that you use to make holes. If you're using what are they, crocodile, use that smallest setting. So here's my push mat. I'll just move these ones to the side. Look, I've put a piece of cardboard down so we don't hit the glass mat with all the noise. So most of my dangles, I usually measure my chains about 3.5 to 4 inches, so that when they're on, now this is the one for this, so that I pick up my greens through here. So I want my dangle to sit round about there. Okay, that's the length of my chain. So look, you can measure and mark and all the rest. I don't want him too high, I don't want him too low. So about here in the middle of this spine is where I want to punch a hole. Stir your hole just to make it big enough that you can actually get your split pin in. Okay, set that aside. Now with this one, we need to close him. Pop it in. Turn it so that your ring is hanging down. Turn this over. Okay, and open it out. And that's the other reason, I should be in shot, yep, that you don't want it too high, because you don't want this to come up past here. So if I get my little piece that I'm going to use as my hidden spine again, see how that'll cover that completely? Okay, you won't see where that is at all. So if you turn him back over, that's it. That's all there is to it. They're so easy to attach. You can always attach them to little bulldog clips and clip a bulldog clip up here. That way, if the recipient of the journal doesn't want a dangle on there, they're easy to remove, put on something else, throw out, whatever you like. This way, they're still easy to remove, but this bit will always be here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that back in there. All right, so that's where your dangle will go. I'm not going to attach it, as I said, because I haven't put my signatures in. But all I'll do is open up my little split, my jump ring. You can see I've got glue all over me because I've been finishing off the front of this cover today. So you'll open that out, attach that onto that one, like so. If you want, you can always attach the last of your chains, but I tend to make them so that I've already got that jump ring on there. Then they can sit there and I can just grab them when needed. So if we say that that's there like that, if I set that up like that, you'll see how it hangs down there. Okay, so let's make one. They are so easy, as I said before. I'll just set that to the side. Now, as I said before, I tend to buy broken jewellery. So this is I've got a little box that I just entitled Chains. And in it, when I've been going through jewellery, I will pull out the larger chains. Okay, so here's a pile of them here, down to about that size. And it's these that I'll make my dangles with, because the chain's already there. It's nice and it's large. Like, I've got a real whopper here. That'll be interesting for something as well if I'm doing a real chunky journal. Sorry, excuse me. Frog in my throat. Just take a drink. It's better. And that way, when you're breaking up jewellery, and you only get a length like that of chain, they're perfect. So let's say with this one, we'll pick, I don't know, what's a little bit, let's go that. That looks a little bit different, doesn't it? So let's have a look at that one. Pull that out. It might be one piece. See, most of them are in a couple of pieces. And I'll make that a little bit smaller again. So let's have a look at some of our other lengths. That one's about the same length. Do we have a smaller one? I have a smaller one there. Let's just use that. It's already in a nice small length. I'll put those ones back in there. I like to have them pre-sorted like that, just so that I can grab it around about the colour or the size that I want. Right, chuck them back in my box. So here's my dangle. This guy is a little bit long, so he's about 6 inches. I do want to take some off. Let's have a look and see this one. He should have a gap. Oh, he's not going to. He's going to be a full length one. All right. So let's make him a little bit different. This one's not going to undo. So let's do him with 2 lengths of dangle. About that. That was easy. All right. Move my ruler. Don't need rulers. Don't need ink. Don't need anything else. What I need, a charm. Beads. Again. When I get my broken jewellery, I pop them in. I've got a few wire bits. But all of these have come from broken jewellery. There'll be a few in here that I may have purchased, like these sorts of things, and they're just plasticky ones, but they make good ends. So if I lift that one up, and these are the ones I like for my end ones. Okay, now look at that. Let's use him. Isn't that just awesome? You can pop whatever colours. You can colour code them and all the rest. Let's do that. Sit him down there. I've got some other pink ones in here for a few pink ones. I'll just pull a few out. I can add my silvers, my bronzes. I've got right, there's a small one like that, since we're doing the double one. And I'll sit those to the side over here. The other thing I like to have are seed beads. Okay, so I've just got some seed beads. I've got other containers of them somewhere. And I like them on the ends. Occasionally, they need to with, like this one. It's got quite a large hole. Now, when I'm making these, I will either use head pins, which are these. So if I pull one out, these you usually have to purchase. You can't find these in broken jewellery. So this is a head pin. So it's straight length, and it's got a little head on the end. Hence, head pin. I think that's what they're called. It's what I call. But if I pop this through here, I reckon that'll go all the way through. See? We don't want that. So I can either pop a slightly larger bead on the end. So let's have a look at something like this. This would be too big for what I want, but you'll get the gist. See how it now holds that in? Okay. Or what I could do, the other type of pins that I use are these ones, and I have no idea what they're called. They've got this curl already on one side. I don't know what they're called, sorry. So see how they've got one end here? So they're slightly bigger. So what'll happen if I put that in there now? See how it won't go anywhere? So you'll see with these ones, this one, that's the type of ones that I've used. So you can see them at the end. Okay. Whereas this one, I've used the head pins. So you'll see the head pins on the end of them. All right. So really, it doesn't make any difference which one you use. It's just something to stop your beads from falling back off. Okay. You can use a combination of them. I'm running out of my silver ones. I have gold, but I don't use the gold that often because it's a bright gold, and that's just not me. Because there's so many beads, you don't tend to notice the things that are on the end of them anyway. So if you are mixing your metals, don't be too concerned about it. All right. This is what we want for our bottom one. I want to use a head pin because it's longer, which gives me more space because this is so large. But I want to put something on the end of it to stop this going through. Now, I could use the pink, but let's have a look and see. And I'll show you what I mean by these little silver things. All right, see these little cap bits? That one's too big. I'll have a look for here we go. Here we go. All right, see these ones? Little tiny ones. A hole in the centre. and it'll stop that head pin from going anywhere, and it'll give it a nice end. That's it. So I can pop some other bits on there, since this is going to be a fairly small one, and I don't want just, this one's a fairly heavy one, but let's go with crystal. Oh, I know what I want. I did at one stage start colour coding them. You know, when you've got nothing to do and all the rest. Sorry, that is so noisy. But in amongst here, they were all green toned, but let's just have a look. We could add some greens in with this, because it's one of those colours that tend... Oh, hang on. How about that one? Just play around with what you like. That's more pink. That one looks better. Right. Sit you there. Now, you will need a couple of different sets of pliers. I have 3. Okay. So I have my little round nose pliers, so the whole thing is round, going to a smaller tip. I have my good old standard, and I think I've had these for about 15 years. I use them in the house. I use them for everything, and I've always used them for jewellery making. And then I have these little guys, which are a tiny one, but they're on a spring, which makes them easier, so I don't have to hook my thumb in. These have got a sharper end for cutting. This bit in here is for cutting. This, at this stage, is a little bit too long to make my curls, so I want to cut it about there. Okay? Simple as that. I'll just pop that in the bin. Going back to my round nose pliers, go further down. I used to always make the mistake of going here, which meant that it was too small and too high up. Go here where it's going to make a nice round. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to roll this towards me, okay? So I can just keep rolling this around. Take it out. So if you look at that, it's there. What we want to do is bring it back on itself a little bit. I'm no expert at this. This has all just been self-taught from mucking around, because I like the look of beads. So it's just a matter of re-manipulating this, and then I can use my ends just to tighten that up. Straighten it up. Okay. And then that I'm going to attach to there. I don't need to put a jump ring on this. Okay. Open it out a little bit. Slide your chain in there and close it back up. There's our first bit. All right. So we had this round about there, didn't we? Okay. So there's our first one. With this sort of one, what I'm going to do is put a charm on each one of these. I want a bigger one to go on there, and I'm going to use the other pink one so that it matches. So once again, we'll go to a head pin. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's going to need something. This one will allow me to go with the smaller ones. And we might just put a seed bead or something on the end of that. But a gold one to bring out the gold in these. Once again, these are ones that I've had forever. And I quite often use them for other bits and bobs. So let's have a look. And I hate trying to undo it because it you've got to push at one end to open up one. Let's just, what do I do with that? Can't get it in. There we go. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Could do with something bigger. We've got bigger ones in there. The little pearls are nice. And in that one, that shows off better, I think. And I might put a couple of those pearls on the top as well. Just have fun with them. They're not life or death. You're not designing for Tiffany. It's just, you will get beads absolutely everywhere. There. Right. Close that because otherwise you will tip it. And we've all done it. Now, this one will only need a little bit taken off it. These ones are stronger. So get rid of that. Going back to your round nose pliers. Further up. Rolling round. Tipping back. And then before we close it completely, pop that one on. Going to the tip of your round nose and closing him. Okay? So now what I've got are my two ends. So easy. So easy. So it's now just a matter of playing around with the bits and the bobs that you've got. Let's put some... See, and I'm going to mix my metals and all the rest. I have all these wonderful... See, these are out of jewellery bits. But they just look great. That'll take it down a little bit instead of the bright gold. So we'll pull out a few of these. And we'll pull out... Now, here's the other one. Right. See this? This was a necklace. And instead of pulling the whole thing apart, I just undo the bits that I want. So if you'll notice in this one, there's a section of it already done. And all I've had to do is curl an end. Okay, so do I use any others in it? No, that's another piece of a necklace. And it's all together. And I've used it already there. So sometimes you don't need to pull the whole things apart. I'll go back to these ones. I'll pull a pile of these out and just sit them there. How's that? Right. And you can see some of mine are bent where I've picked them up to do things with and then decided not. All right. So something on the bottom. And I don't know how big these bits are. No, they work well. So we want some little ones to go in amongst there. Let's go down to these. And something smaller again in there. Over here. Let me have a look. Ah. I know what I haven't pulled out. My little ones. Ooh. See, I have where I've pulled necklaces apart. All right. This is my favourite little one. I love these black ones. They're just little ones. I find it's easier to probably pick them up that way. All right. See, this is starting to look really nice. You can do them as long or as little as you like. So, I like those ones. I might even get another black one on that. Yep, and I won't have to chop anything off that one. We'll just turn it. So back to your round nose pliers in the middle. Turn, flick him back a little bit on himself. Attach it to your chain. Close your loop. Okay. There it is there. That one needs just a little bit more. Right, that's straightened him nicely. So, next one. That's what I mean. How hard are they? So, we want to go with the different colour at the bottom this time. So, let's go with... I don't want too big. I don't want too big. They're black. Oh. Alright, so we'll pick up that black. That works, but let's go with, on the bottom of this one, greeny coloured ones. Where is it? There. So we'll pick up one of these. I hope I'm in shot. Yes. So we're going that way now, and we'll stick with all these mid-size ones. in these pearls, because I've got oodles of those. And we might go with one of those ones again. Right, round nose pliers, because again this one doesn't need cutting. Winding him over, flicking him back just a little bit on himself. Putting it on a chain, closing it off. Right, so you can see that they're starting. So let's just keep that theme of the pink, the green and the black. That might be just easier. Okay, and then I can put everything else away. So what have I got in here? Got some little green ones in there. Again, see, these are all bits from necklaces that I've kept together. So see, we've got that. It's already partly done. And I could leave that as is. Make it even easier. Open that out a little bit. Add it to a chain. Get your fingers out of the way. Cross your tongue. Cross your eyes, you know, all the general stuff. Close that. How hard was that one? So that's what I mean. Leave the necklace. I should have gone the other. No, that's him. He's got bits on both sides. Leave some of your necklaces when you find them slightly whole, because it takes half that work out. Okay. So we'll go another pinkish coloured one, and we'll go that. No, that's the wrong pink. It's at this stage when you end up with so much on your desk, just remember you don't want to tip your containers over. I'm just pulling out some gems that will work as bottom ones. And that one. And what else have we got in here? Oh, I've got a little black one in there too that'll work. Okay, that is a hideous colour. That's a slightly better one. And we can use those ones. We can use, I don't want to go those ones, and I don't want to go those ones this time, so I'm just going to pull those ones aside. Stick you there before I tip you over. So I don't have a great deal, but they're just, you know, let's face it, we all do that. Oh, I don't have a great deal. We've probably still got a fair whack. But these are literally just broken jewellery. Little pink ones. Pull them all out, and then we can just... Oh, I do like these ones. They're just a bit different. They add that grunge, that chunkiness to it. Pulling out some of the silver ones. And what have I got in there? Nope, nope, nope. All right, we'll go with those ones then. Let's see how far we get. All right, so... grabbing another head pin, grabbing that one, and one of these ones. There's a couple of different shapes and sizes in there. That one, because it's a big one, and one of those little pink ones on the top. Nope. Needs to be slightly larger. What can I sit on the top that's gonna... All right. I've still got room, so I don't need to cut any off. Twisting it over, flicking it back just a little bit on itself. Finding your next piece of chain. And then closing it over. All right. On to the next one. So we need to add a bit more pink in this, so we'll go this colour this time. I'll put just a little black one on there. See, and it's the It's the second guessing yourself that we have the most problems with, I think. Oh, that's a bit different. We'll use that one. Who knows what I've got in some of these. That'll do. I can get one more bead on that, can't I? Where's that little pink one? Then I don't have to cut. Oh, I like that. Right, folding him over, flicking it back on itself to the next chain link, closing it over. Now it's somewhere up here. So look at what we've got so far. So I'm going to that one. So I'm at the end of that. That's going to be my top one. And I'm going to pop a jump ring on that one now so that I know that that's my top one. Do I have any silver jump rings? This, yep. Because this is small silver. Few, and I think I bought these ones probably, oh, I reckon it'd be close to 20 years ago. Never throw anything out. So when we're using our jump rings, don't use your round nose ones. Use your normal pliers. Hang on to one end, close to where your split is in your jump ring. Hang on to the other one, and just one goes one way, one goes the other. So go right and left. That's all you're doing, just opening it that way. You don't want to pull it right out. Sitting it on here, and then you'll just do that in reverse and close it. Okay, that way you've got least likely to squash it, to misform it, and all the rest. Okay, so now we've just got these little ones. We've got 1, 2, 3 more charms to do. Okay, I really like that. I think that's a little bit different. Let's see, do you fit on there with that? Yep. Oh, that's different, isn't it? Right, so what will we put with you? I like. Let's go silver. And some little greens. Let's go 2 little greens just because we can. And then we don't have to chop any more off. Halfway down, rolling it over, flicking it back a little bit. I'm just pushing it back a little bit, hooking it onto my chain, and then closing it up and just bringing it round on itself. Okay, that's that one. We've got 1, 2 to go. So picking up a head pin. It's not a head pin. That pin, I truly don't know what it's called. Let's go a black one. I might leave it like that this time. We'll go, no, I liked that before, didn't I? Where's the end of that one? There. And a little bit of a pink. No, I like that. I like that. Let's just have a look in here again. These ones. Quite enamoured with these ones. Right, just like that. This one's probably got a little bit more. We could make it longer if we want. So let's now find our black ones. That's probably dangerous doing that with your left hand, Kylie. Right, that's a bit better. And I'll roll that halfway down. Flicking it back on itself just a little bit. Putting it on my chain and closing it off. They're really quick to do. The problem, if it's a problem, the thing that probably takes the most amount of time is working out what you want to put on it. And if you don't think too much, I really like that one. I'll do another one of those. If you don't think too much and you just do, I'm telling you now, you'll still like it when it comes out at the end. We hesitate. We second guess ourselves all the time. So we got that one and that one. And I never used him, did I? Oh well, doesn't matter. He's not going to get used now. How about one of those? Just because we can, like that. Oh, I did use one of those. That's right. If you've got charms in your stash, you can add charms, put your jump ring on, and attach it to there. See, I'm talking and I closed it. That's my last one. And moving him in. Okay. So they're all attached. Now it's a matter of finding my top. How's that? How hard was that? That's what I mean. They're so easy to do. This one's got fairly long chains. And there is one on each link as such. So it's a little bit more sparse. I'm just going to move that. And I'll do him back up so that I don't knock it. I love all these little containers for my beads, but I've got to admit the other ones are probably easier to get to. Right, so I'll set you there. So whereas this one is a smaller chain, and it's not on every single chain. So I'll open it up. So he's a little bit more delicate. Okay, so here's that one. And here's that one. So see what I mean? He's a little bit fuller and delicate. Fuller? That's a word. And there's some actual little charms in that one because that's to go on this journal that I'm doing at the moment, which is all butterflies and birds. So I've popped some butterflies and some birdie charms that I had in amongst it as well. So there's that one. And then after I'd finished that one, I thought, well, I had everything out and I'd do another one ready for the next journal. So here's a mid chain. And I've just used lots of different colours with this. So because I've really got no idea of what I'm doing the next journal on, I just know that I should have started another one to get it to market. I'm running short. So how's that? So they are the easiest things in the world. Don't be scared of them. You can make amazing, amazing little dangles, and each one will be unique. And they're unique to you. So start having a look. By all means, you can go out and buy beads. They're not overly cheap. So don't get me wrong. You know, go out and buy them by all means. But watch what you're doing and everything else. I just find that the best way to get a completely different selection is to get old jewellery or have friends give you their old jewellery or whatever else. I've got some great friends and I've had some lovely, you know, little baggies from friends with, oh, this necklace broke. Do you want it? Yes. So, you know, very quick and easy. But the thing that makes it the best is definitely your round nose pliers. For many, many years, I was struggling with these ones. So they look like they're round nose ones, but they're flat in here. They will give your curls a completely wonky shape. So don't get suckered in with those sorts of ones. Go and find yourself some round nose pliers. They're not all that expensive. You can get very expensive ones if you want to. But that's what I use. I have the 3 of those. And I love these little ones that'll flick back out. That's just a normal set of pliers. Okay? It's mainly to hold them. I hope you've enjoyed this. I may have a video next weekend. I may not. I'm heading to retreat. Yay! And then I'm off on the road with my husband for work for a week. So we'll see how we go. If you do like it, please subscribe. And oh my word, all the subscribers that I've had in the last week, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, guys, for enjoying this channel and letting me know that you enjoy it and subscribing and liking. It's overwhelming. So thank you all so much. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.